one of my mom's Alzheimer's medications, one of them, one of them, this is with her insurance, $900. It has nothing to do
Wow.
with anything else about her care.
Wow.
Welcome to Carry On, the show where we explore reinvention, self-discovery, and empowerment before, during, and after midlife. I'm your host, Carrie Murray. It's time to keep our head above the chaos and carry on.
I'm steps away from the empty nest season of life, and my parents are still in pretty good health. If you've ever found yourself balancing the demands of kids and caring for aging parents, you know how challenging and rewarding this chapter can be. So take a deep breath and let's dive into this delicate dance of caregiving, love, and the lessons that come with it. Thank you so much, Jay Smiles, for being here. You are a comedian by trade, but a caregiver as well to your mom. I'm really inspired to have you here today because I've been watching you for a while on Instagram, on YouTube, as well as following your podcast. And I know your experience will really resonate with our audience today because you are doing something truly unique. And that is not really discussed on glossy, beautiful Instagram. You know, you're not making sourdough bread, you're taking care of your aging mother. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for giving a voice to me, my community, and others like myself.
Love it. So again, thank you so much. We're gonna dive right in. And I might get a little emotional, might get a little feels to my audience, but you know what? This is life. So let's just carry on about it. So tell me how. I know the care of your mother really started with the sudden death of your father. And you had to immediately jump in to the caregiving role. Tell me about how you became an advocate for caregiving for your mom after that event.
Yes. So, do you want to know like how it all happened, or when the advocacy portion kicked in? I want to make sure.
When that advocacy, like, really you had to take that role. I know you're also a single child too.
Yes. Yeah, it got exciting and intriguing very quickly. So, yes, you are right. My father had a massive heart attack, and it was really abrupt because we thought he was healthy. He was about 61, 62 years old. He was still working. There was no portion of his life that was preparing for retirement. And he was on the couch watching a football game with my mom. My mom goes to the back to get a blanket. She returns. He's no longer alive. That just thrust her into several months of what we thought was just, oh, she's a widow and she's maybe in shock and she's in sorrow and in sadness. Turns out that that catastrophic event created like a PTSD for a soldier who may see a lot of death or a lot of really ugly warfare, and then they may have a mental break. And so neurologists told me that my mom ultimately what might have taken a decade or more to unravel and for her body to naturally lean into the dementia that was likely in her DNA happened in like 3 months.
Wow.
Correct. So she got diagnosed with 2 forms of dementia, and they believe it was because of her traumatic response to my father's passing and the fact that she found him, and they had just been doing something so cool
Yeah.
and, intimate, like just watching a football game on the couch. My advocacy portion, though, to your original question, kicked in when really got firsthand knowledge of how much was not available for caregivers. And I was pissed. Is it okay to say that?
Of course.
Okay, all right. Okay.
This is an R-rated podcast. You can say whatever the hell you want.
All right, I was fucking pissed, okay?
Good.
That's the truth. That is the truth of the matter. So, now just a little bit more about my background. I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama, and so activism is who I am. I'm not saying that everybody from Montgomery, Alabama feels that way, but I drank the Kool-Aid, I inhale the air, I am of that soil. So when you see something, do something. Good trouble is what I was born to be in. My parents, my grandparents were all very involved in the modern civil rights movement. And so you just supposed to do something.
Yeah.
And when you know, I have 3 academic degrees and had a lot of connections within the medical field. And I thought, "Oh, heavens smiths, if my mom has the best healthcare and I have these, very fortunate to have these wonderful connections all over the United States, and I'm catching hell. I'm catching hell. What in the world is happening to individuals who don't have this kind of access and these kind of resources?" And that's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
And that is when the advocacy portion started to rear its head. But it was probably a good 3 to 5 years into my caregiving journey when that portion started because it took me that long to get out of my own denial and be ready to talk about it out loud, Carrie.
Yeah. And dealing with your own grief. You also,
Yeah,
your mom lost her husband, but you lost your dad. That
you're right.
Wow. So when you're in those early stages and you're seeing that there is, like, you have the best healthcare, we're in a modern country with lots of great medical services. Were you finding that you have the physical and the emotional toll? What about the financial toll? Like, should we have a savings account just for this type of emergency? Like, how financially were you able to put something in place to get your mom set up and ready to go?
Well, gratefully for me, my parents were both very accomplished and I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, that's
So
good.
that's just dumb luck or favor ain't fair. I don't know what you want to call it. But they individually had a great deal of success professionally. My mom was a CPA, a forensic accountant, an expert witness. My dad was a lawyer. And then together they were create some pretty sound investments. So I did not have to try to go and find a lot of money for her. I will tell you the 2 things that were very tricky for me personally. Okay, since my parents were youngish, and in good health, I didn't have the legal documentation in place that said I'm supposed to have access to their money. So while they had some money and I shouldn't have a problem, there was not a easy way to go about getting it, and so there was, a lot of hoops, a lot of drama. I ended up paying for money, paying for things and paying interest rates on my credit cards
Hi.
and things that I shouldn't have had to do because I didn't have the proper paperwork in place because who saw all of this happening? Either when dad died, I still didn't see mom becoming my basically my dependent or my becoming her legal guardian in less than one business quarter cycle. My parents did have some money and left money in a way that should I manage it properly, let me say this, should I manage it properly, there should not be a problem. But then there's also the how do you manage it properly? And all of us don't have the money management gene, and there's no one standing around telling us how much this medicine is going to cost or how much healthcare will be or assisted living. They cost very different amounts of money. And for instance, one of my mom's Alzheimer's medications, one of them, one of them, this is with her insurance, $900. That has nothing to do
Wow.
with anything else about her care.
Wow.
So, what in the hell are you supposed to do if you didn't have health insurance or if you didn't have the caliber of health insurance my mom had? Or, I had access to credit cards with some pretty healthy limits. So I was able to like basically effectively, I was giving my mom a bridge loan.
Mhm. Yeah.
And by the way, I got to tell you, the IRS came back later and fucking harassed me
I have no doubt.
for years, thinking basically I was stealing from my mother. And I'm like, I'm taking care of her. I can't always get to her money, so I spend my money and then I use her money when I get it to pay my credit cards off. What do you think I'm doing?
Right.
Why would I do that? But yes, so the IRS has then, and all of this is because initially we didn't have all of the paperwork set up, right? So then initially the IRS is looking like, why is all this money moving around all these places? I think it's the first podcast I'm sharing this on. They thought that I was money laundering because they said you're closing too many accounts and opening too many new accounts, and where's this going?
Wow. So the IRS is coming after Jay and her mother, and or the small little account, and ignoring everything else that's happening out in the world. That's
This is correct.
yeah.
This
Okay.
is
Just want to make
all
sure
correct.
I'm hearing this correctly. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So with the stock market crash and everyone who stole everything about the prime
Multi-billion
lending,
dollar
all those
companies.
people,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're
they're
going.
fine.
Yeah. They're coming
They're
after
coming
you.
after me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm only. I mean, my mom lives with me. It's not like I left and moved to Russia and she's living in a box. I'm with her.
Right.
Come see us at home whenever you want to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I mean, I could talk about the political ramifications of the lack of access for healthcare for individuals that don't have insurance, but that might be a topic for another podcast. um, that it's wow. So emotional strain, physical strain, caring for your mother. Now you got the IRS on your ass, asking about money and everything. And you're like, I'm just trying to take care of my mom. So those forms you're talking about is like, a living will. You need something like that, power of attorney, all of those things. And I mean, my mom's in her 70s, and I'll be honest, I haven't had this conversation with her yet. So I will after this call. I don't know where she has everything hidden. um,
You got to do it, Carrie. I don't know. We all have different relationships. Our parents have different personalities. You have to figure out what's the best angle.
Mhm.
Like, is it best for the child who will be the recipient of the responsibility to have the conversation? Should a pastor, an older auntie, a neighbor, who knows? Maybe the doctor is the one to do it, or maybe the lawyer who drew up the original will, if there is one that should say, hey, I think it's about time for us to redo it. But I can promise you this, someone needs to address it. It gets this litigious. I prior to becoming a caregiver and a comedian, I'm a lawyer, an engineer, and a product designer. That's what I was doing before dad died and mom.
wow. So not a
Well,
lot. You weren't busy at all.
no, not in the least.
My
So so the thing is, I really understood what they were trying to ask me about. And I was like, yeah, I understand what you want from me. But I also understand that every law we have, at least in these United States, we really are a country of exceptions. Like, so if for every law we have, there are probably 100 exceptions to that one law.
Right.
The example I love to give is, yeah, we all hear stop on red, unless you're going from a one way to a one way, then you can turn left. Or if you're making a right hand turn from the right hand lane, check. If no cars coming, you can go right. So I could go on and on. There are always exceptions. And what I was constantly trying to tell the doctors or the lawyers, hospitals, hey, the spirit of the law of why you won't give me X, Y, and Z for my mom doesn't pertain to me. I am her daughter. I'm the person caring for her. She lives with me. When she dies, all her money is gonna be mine anyway. What are we going through right now? Right now, you are make it. You gonna make me waste her money to go hire a lawyer,
Yeah.
come back to say that I get to do. What are you doing? Like, this is the stupid. We wasted time. We wasted money. All the things. So, but for individuals who may not exactly be in my situation, but who are still trying to figure out how to get their parents, or whether or not they think they need it, because your parent might be really healthy right now. I
Right.
say you need one for yourself too. You need to get one. And I think one thing I've been suggesting for people within the parenting up community to do is approach your parent and say, we both need it.
Yeah.
Because Jay could get in a car crash tomorrow And yeah, maybe I'm alive, but maybe I'm in traction or maybe I have a spinal cord injury and somebody needs to make decisions for me. I don't want the state of Georgia doing it. That's for sure. And I don't want a court to appoint someone who doesn't know me or love me or know my preferences. So one thing, an approach you can use is to tell your parent, hey, we need to set up these living will, set up the will. If I'm sick, if you're sick, you 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 are over mine, I'm over yours. Like nobody's trying to exchange money. We're just trying to say you are in charge of the medical decisions. That's a big step.
Wow. So you're now wow, so you have to leave this incredible career to go take care of your mom. You're balancing now this role reversal of being the parent of your parent. How are you finding the balance and all of this in your own life and for your own self?
Honest, scary. Balance is a farce.
Yeah.
There's no balance.
Every day
It's
is
more it's more like my experience has been, and this is also what I see with others that I either consult with or advise, or they just use me as a sounding board. It's more like the old adage, the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're the tortoise, sometimes you're the hare, but there's not really balance. You have a stomach full of butterflies and or anxiety, and then sometimes you're asleep.
Yeah. Just you ebb and flow between those two emotions pretty much daily or hourly or by the minute.
Yeah, because for family caregivers, it has been my experience that it's like being in a state of consistently on calls, like you're an ER physician or a OBGYN that is constantly waiting to deliver a baby that's never going to be delivered.
I am.
So even if you're on vacation, if your loved one happens to live in assisted living or a nursing home, you still could get a call anywhere at any moment and you know it.
Yeah.
Now, you may not get a call for 2 weeks, but it doesn't mean that that little voice in your head ever leaves. You don't sleep soundly anymore
Ever.
once you become a family caregiver.
Wow. And how do you manage that stress? Do you dance, box, scream? What? You're
Yeah.
a comedian.
Well, I will admit now, I will admit some may be better than I am. I will just speak for myself. I'm in year 13 with my mom.
Wow.
Um, and the first few years I was not doing well. I was making very bad decisions. And it involved cognac, random sex with guys I didn't really know. And my health was taking. My health was taking, my numbers were going in the wrong direction. And it was a lot of family and friends were saying, this doesn't look good, Jay. And I was like, whatever, who cares? And I literally didn't care what they had to say. I was
Right.
totally ignoring them. It was when my primary care physician told me, hey, Jay, at this rate, you will die before your mom.
Ouch.
That got my
Yeah, that got your attention.
that
Yep.
got my attention. And so
Now
then I
who's gonna
said,
take
no,
care of
that's
your
so
mom?
stupid.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I didn't do all of this to then die before her, because then who's gonna be here for her? I'm the only child, dad's dead. Her our relatives, while some of them will stop by to say, "Hey," maybe send some food. No one is in it with me caring for her, making decisions, taking shifts, things of that nature. So, um, but now what I do for what I'm gonna call marginal self-care, the first thing was to get out of the denial that there was any cure. I will admit, Carrie, for a number of years, I thought, okay, you people here in America don't have a cure, but there's a cure somewhere.
Yeah.
If I get to Brazil or the Amazon or somewhere in the Himalayas, there is something she can drink or smoke or eat.
Right.
It's, it has to be. Like Ronald Reagan died of this 35,000 years ago. What do you mean there's no cure?
Right. That it's still a problem. What's going on here?
How is it still a problem? Magic Johnson had AIDS and now nobody has AIDS, just like Magic Johnson doesn't have AIDS, or is just living with it. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on here?
Same with
Why
COVID.
can't we fix
We got a vaccine kind of quickly.
so what I'm thinking, like so that was a big step for me just to get through the denial
Yeah.
of no, Jay, this is it. Like there's no cure. There's nothing you can do about it. Um, that was major in my self-care because there was a pace of which I was living and I was determined that was erratic and I was determined to find something and uncover something. So now just accepting reality was a really big deal for me in terms of self-care and things that help me relieve stress. Personally for me, scuba diving, swimming in any kind of way, meditation, hot yoga, and telling people no.
Oh, that's a great one.
Telling people no might have taken me it might have been the pandemic that
Yeah.
really helped me. And that might have been about year 8 or 9. We might have been in year 8 or 9 when the COVID pandemic shut the world down. And there was a paranoia, a very healthy paranoia that built up within me around my mom contracting the virus from someone who was either around me or around her.
Yeah.
So I became very clear with my reason for saying no. And then I just kind of held on to that no. Like I don't have to answer
No,
anybody
no, you
about
don't.
anything.
No,
I
you
don't have
don't.
to give a reason either. I could just no is a complete statement.
Yeah, and you can't argue with it. It's no.
It's no.
It's no. The
And
answer.
all of that became more prevalent too through therapy. So I have to say that that has been a form of self-care that I didn't even realize was self-care.
Right.
But that was what a few people suggested it, as well as my primary care physician. They said, Jay, you're managing too much because my father's affairs, my mom's affairs, when my dad passed and when my mom got ill, both of them still had their businesses running. So for a couple
Oh,
of
wow.
years, I was managing both of their businesses and then trying to determine what in the hell was wrong with my mama.
Right.
Um,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh, Jay, I didn't know you had to like run two businesses at the same time
yeah,
too.
yeah. A law firm and a expert witness consultancy. It was crazy.
For women who want more than just a getaway, Two Peacocks Travel offers transformative journeys that blend adventure, connection, and empowerment. Imagine wandering the colorful streets of Morocco with new friends, sharing stories over a meal in Peru, or conquering a new challenge with the encouragement of a supportive travel group. These experiences aren't just about places, they're about people, growth, and creating traditions that extend beyond the trip. It's time to travel with purpose and find your travel bestie and make an unforgettable memories. Join the movement at twopeacockstravel.com.
What would your advice be? I know we talked about, getting paperwork in order, getting, things happening. What would your advice be for that, only child when they've now are in a situation of parenting their parent? What have you learned that, you know, looking around and being like, okay, it's me and maybe her sister or my cousin or anything that can come in. But I mean, do you seek community? Do you seek faith? Like how do you do it? It's amazing to me.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I will 100% share with you and with all of your listeners and viewers that it wasn't me. There was some higher divine power. So whether people are religious or spiritual, or even they believe in the Big Bang Theory, somebody made the bang happen. Something made the bang happen.
Sure.
So just what I do know is I always had what I needed when I needed it. It's very rare that the source was where I expected it to be. So that's the first thing, especially what I would point out to another family caregiver who is an only child, or maybe you have siblings, but
They're
they are
useless.
not as eager
Yeah.
to assist.
Yeah. This was what happened to my mom. My mom had 5 siblings. Both parents go into assisted living for Alzheimer's. No siblings anywhere. It was her.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I've heard that so much, and between me and you, Carrie, I'd rather be an only child. So from the get go, I know it's just me, and so I gotta come up with a plan. Versus if I think there's 2 or 3 people in this with me,
Yeah. It's not a
and
committee,
they
right?
set me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's worse. I don't know. I've never had siblings. So I can't speak on it, but that feels like a reoccurring letdown. Like, okay, surely next time they're really going to come, or next time they're going
They're
to
gonna show up
put a
this
little
time.
money
Yeah.
in my account or stop by. But first thing that comes to mind for me for an only child or someone who's just doing this alone is that there are places or people that are willing to help pause and breathe and look around. It may be coworkers, it may be neighbors that you haven't even had a deep relationship with before. And who cares? I know I was so busy only looking to like blood relatives who had been really close to my mother or who my mom had, but on phone done a lot for, like
Mhm.
paid mortgages, sent them to college, bought cars and shit like that.
Wow.
Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? Literally, some of the most tried and true people had known my mom less than a couple of years,
Oh, wow.
but they just were giving. They were giving spirits, and maybe they only gave 3 or 4 times in year one. But if 10 or 20 people give 3 or 4 times, you've made it through the year. And you may not know who's going to give, but the first thing I started off with was people who said, "Let me know if you need something."
Yeah.
Just start with them. Take them at their word, because there's gonna be a lot of damn people who will not say,
Yes.
"Let me know if you need something."
Yeah.
So don't call them. I don't care if it's the best friend. Don't call her ass if she didn't say, "Let me know if you need something." So those people. The other group that I called or reached out to is individuals who I know have been down this road before. Maybe they've cared for a grandparent or a parent, or maybe they're a nurse. You might have a neighbor who's an LPN or a nurse. Ask them, "Hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Can you suggest something? Do you know of an adult daycare center? Can you even tell me where to start with an agency? Do you know any private nurses or sitters that I could call that you trust?" Like,
Yeah.
don't Google.
Don't Google.
No.
It's a good
Don't Google. Don't trust Google. Not when you're just starting with this thing, because you wouldn't go to Google with your two-month-old baby. You would
no.
you would ask human beings that you know.
Yeah. Did you have someone specific that surprised you that came out to support you or anyone you wanna, like, give a little love to that
100%. It was well, her name is one person's name is Pam Tennell. She's a member of our church here in Atlanta, and we were really, really new to Atlanta. And the few times when my mom went in the hospital, she heard through the grapevine, and I don't even know what the grapevine was.
Yeah.
And she showed up at the hospital with like a 4-course meal for me, because she heard I was spending the night in the hospital. And she said, "You can't be eating this food." And she came with a 4-course meal and all the paper plates and sweet tea and everything. And I don't even know how she talked the people into letting her bring in all that food or getting past the security, but she did. Another thing is Monica Cost, um, Janelle Bowles, Christine B, Seyon Quiet, Keisha Walker, Tracy Vaughn. Those ladies, the day my father passed, my dad died and we was in Montgomery, Alabama. None of those women live in Alabama, nor were they in the state of Alabama the day my dad passed. But they got to my parents' house before the sun went down that day.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was an indicator to me that something divine was going to cover me if I could just breathe and pay attention.
Yes.
And so, then you just, if you're going through this, if you share what you're going through, when the spirit hits you to share it. Like, I'm not saying call everybody you know and say, "Oh my God, I just had a bad day and my
Put up a
mom
Facebook
failed."
post and like say, "Hey, I'm looking for friends." Like,
No, but I think, at least with me, I kind of let intuition just
yeah,
say, if intuition told me to text somebody, I sent the text. Or if
yeah.
somebody called and I feel like picking up, how's the day going? I was like, it's a shitty day. And they said, what can I do to help? I told them.
That's
And you
good.
never know what's going to lead to a person that's really meaningful. One of the in the first year with my mom, actually one of my best um posts of support was the owner of an agency. And I didn't know her before hiring her agency. But truthfully, Kara, she just felt sorry for me. The shit
Yeah.
that happened in my life happened so fast, and I was so lost. And I told her, I said, she said, well, what kind of caregiver do you need? I said, I have no fucking idea.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what my mama needs. I don't know what I need. And then she slowed me down and talked me through, because who knew this? But the reason why she opened this caregiver agency was because her mom had Alzheimer's and she didn't know what to do either.
So you found your angels, it sounds like.
That's right.
That's incredible. That's incredible. My last question is you're doing such an amazing job with your mom. And when you see your videos on Instagram, it's really caring, really loving, very nurturing, but you find the humor in it. You find the like, okay, this is not easy. How would you say someone who's going through the same thing can find the humor in this type of situation? Because you're right, she's not going to get better.
No, no, they're not going to get better. And they call it the long Alzheimer's. Um, one of the, I mean, it's not really cool, but one of the known phrases or mottos that goes with Alzheimer's is the long goodbye.
Oh,
And it's because the disease typically lasts 3 years or more. It could last 3 to 20 years, statistically speaking. And you're just watching this person, this adult usually, and this adult is usually your age or older, because it could be a spouse
right.
or a sibling, and you're watching them revert. And so it's very difficult. In terms of finding the humor, there are a few things, there are two things specifically that I learned this in improv class, but it has been very, very useful in my role as a caregiver and then as a comedian. It's number one, always say yes in your mind. Your loved one who has dementia or Alzheimer's may not even know what the word yes means, but no matter what they're doing or saying, if in your mind you're saying yes to them, like you're not, meaning you're not going to fight them.
Right.
Whether they say the sky is purple or whether they ask you for eggs and then you could bring the eggs and then they tell you, I never ate eggs before. Then you just say yes. And then just take the eggs away. You eat the damn eggs. Oops.
Right.
Don't argue. I mean, well, eggs cost a lot right now. Don't throw the eggs away. You eat the eggs, or in 5 minutes, they might want these stupid eggs sweet.
Where are my eggs?
I told you I wanted these stupid eggs. So it is to not take, and then the second thing is, it is to not take things personally and to go with them. That's the hardest thing when you are a family caregiver, because you remember who this person used to be. And that
Yes.
is one of the strongest ugly things to me about Alzheimer's is physically, the person looks the same for a very long time. They keep the same weight, the same skin color, the same hair. Like they don't lose nothing, but they damn mind. I mean, that's kind of funny, but they don't. But they don't. They really don't. So their voice may be. They may have the same strength. They have the same diction. They have the same laugh. And so, in one moment, they are making a very logical statement, and then 2 minutes later, they ask you, "Why can't the dog drive the car?" And you're like, "What? Are you playing?" But that's on you. That's on you to get out of your denial that this disease doesn't make their mind flip flop like that. So, to me, the humor is in it's the imagination. Go ahead and lean into the idea of yes, whatever they're doing, as long as it's not about to physically harm them. Like don't let them put their hand in a fire.
Right.
Other than that, though, this is the biggest fantasy, imagination, imaginary friend bullshit that you ever did when you were a kid that you get to do now. And so now, like my mom will flirt with men, and it used to piss me off because I was like, "You don't know that dad is dead, so that means you're cheating, and this is fucked up."
That man may be married and he's 28, mom. Like, right?
Exactly. And now I'm like, you know what? What the hell? Why not? If she can remember and the good thing too is she actually flirts with men who physically are her type. Like she don't flirt with every man. It's the kind of dude that I'm like, yep, that's who you would.
Watch out, sir. My mom's coming. Are you a leader in public child welfare or with an agency looking to create real change? At RFC 21, they don't just consult, they transform. As passionate advocates for progress, they understand the challenges you face. From skilled guidance on grant management and leadership strategy to provide expert witness services for your public child welfare cases. They help you transform the system that serve communities of color with purpose and intention. Their team of resourceful professionals brings integrity to every project, knowledge to every challenge, and innovation to every solution. It's time to move beyond the status quo to build something better together. Visit rfc21.com today and join the progressive movement reshaping public child welfare systems across the nation.
It really is. I think if you go with them,
Yeah.
you stay in the moment, you say yes to what they're doing, the laughter and the funny is right there. But we have to relax and try to let go of the denial we're in. Denial lasts a long time for family caregivers, particularly spouses and children, because we're used to this um, independent or this particular personality that is falling through our fingertips.
Wow. That's wonderful advice, and I really appreciate you sharing the story of your mom and finding the humor and everything you're doing, as a caregiver, and I know the caregivers watching this are probably like, "My person. I feel seen, there's someone who gets it. Yes, the sky is purple today, and yes, the dog can drive the car. Whatever you need, mom, but we gotta go to the dentist," like, stuff like that, right? Thank you, Jay. First, before we wrap up, tell my audience where we can get more of this humor, learn more about you, your comedy, your mom, and you as a caregiver.
Yes, well, thank you so much. It has actually been a pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity to share and to serve. There are a lot of us out here going through this, and without family caregivers, literally, even globally, not just the United States,
Yeah.
the medical system would be in peril. So, to all of you out there, you're doing it. You're doing a great job. The fact that you even said yes to show up any day, at any moment, at any time to care for a loved one, kudos to you. So,
Yeah.
Jay Smiles is my moniker and my comedy name. And I'm Jay Smiles Comedy everywhere, particularly Instagram and YouTube. With my podcast, it is Parenting Up, also YouTube, also Instagram. Those are the best places. I have a website, jsmilescomedy.com and parentingup.com. Um, in the um, in the Atlanta area, in September 2025, but if you stay connected to the social medias, you'll see that. But in the Atlanta area, we're going to have some really exciting things happening the third week of September because 2025 is the 5th year anniversary of the podcast and the 10th year anniversary of comedy. So we're having a weekend
Nice.
of anniversary milestones.
Love that. Thank you so much. And if, Jay, if you ever, are looking for partner in compassion, I'm here for you. I'm here to listen. I'm here to help work with a nonprofit that you might partner with. I loved getting the opportunity to talk to you. And I just want to thank my audience for tuning in. And always, if you are a caregiver and you're like, thank you for this, please comment and let us know how this resonated with you. Thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Samesies. However I can help you, let me know. I look forward to us doing more work together in the future.
Thank you, everyone. Please like, subscribe, comment below. And as always, keep your head above the chaos and carry on.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Carry On. Be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And don't forget to keep your head above the chaos and carry on.